This is Base Hit Ball 4.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Base Hit Ball 4. My name is Glenn Negris alongside Tyler Blumenstick, Alex Cashman, and Scott Roswald. And it's finally here, opening day, after months and months of fighting, of deadly disease, a virus, not knowing if sports at all are going to come back. We finally made it to opening day. It is so crazy stuff that's going on in baseball. We have a huge extension for Mookie Betts. We have opening day on the horizon. The Yankees and the Nationals and the Dodgers and Giants play tonight. And we don't even know where one team is going to be hosting their home games. And on top of all that, they're still negotiating whether or not the playoffs are going to be expanded. This is a jam-packed show. We're going to have our predictions and our playoff picks all in one show. And Kash, the craziest part about everything is that you shaved your beard. So tell me why you did that.
So before I started my internship with the Miners in 2018, I shaved my beard for the internship, and then I grew it back out, and we won the championship. So now every year on opening day eve, on the day of, I have a clean-shaven face, and today happens to be the Miners opening day as well. So we're back, and that's why I shaved my beard.
It's crazy. I think you look great. I think you look great
Glenn.
With the beard, without the beard.
Thanks, Glenn. That's really nice of you.
That's my compliment to you for the day, for the week. That's it.
The
You're
year.
not getting another one until next
That
week.
might have been the only compliment I've ever been given by you.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
Thanks.
That's a good point. The big news this morning was Mookie Betts signing an extension with the Dodgers. Obviously, he was traded during the offseason from the Red Sox to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers fans, the Dodger faithful during these negotiations, and if there won't be a season, we're kind of worried over the fact that they might have traded a big haul to the Red Sox and not get Mookie at all. And then when the 60-game season was announced, they were like, okay, we get Mookie, but what happens after the 60 games? They don't need to worry about that anymore, Scott. They have their man, 12 years, $365. And it's funny because Red Sox Nation is not happy because they all had this fantasy in their minds this entire winter and into the summer that he was going to re-sign, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope Mookie Betts is getting more than $365. It's more like $365 million there, Glenn.
You know what, Scott? You host the show next week.
All right, maybe I will. No, we would be nowhere, without you, Glenn, as our leader here. Yeah, biggest contract in Dodgers history for a guy who has never played a game for the franchise, and as you mentioned, was almost in a situation where he might have never played a game for the Red Sox. But big signing for the team for Mookie, second highest contract in baseball history behind Mike Trout. Well-deserved for Mookie Betts. He's a former MVP, incredible player, both offensively and defensively. So big move for the Dodgers. Definitely puts them keeps them in contention for the long haul, with him staying there for the next 12 years.
I got a question, and I'm sure I'll be told I'm wrong, but I'm going to ask him anyway. Is he worth the money?
I think he is. 27
Is anybody?
years old.
Well, no. So that was my next point, but my question is, he's not ever played in a Dodgers uniform. They have Cody Bellinger too, who's going to get a massive contract. He's going to get a bigger contract than that. By the time Bellinger signs, it's going to be the biggest contract of all time. So I guess my point is, are you really about to spend that much money on two of your three outfield spots?
I mean, if you think about it, $365 million for Betts, and then you got to think at some point in the near future, Bellinger is going to exceed that, probably around the $400 million kind of Harper Trout range.
It's almost $1 billion.
That's almost $1 billion
on two of your three. And the Dodgers have been so close the last couple of years, and they haven't won. What makes them think that Mookie Betts is going to make them a World Series champion? I mean, that's why you sound.
I put Mookie Betts on my team.
But I don't understand why you need – that's so much money.
They can do it. They can afford it. All
right, well, what about when they need a starting pitcher? What about when they need a closer?
But I don't think the Dodgers are always in on the top three. I don't think money is the issue with the Dodgers at all. I don't think they're worried about the luxury tax like the Red Sox or the Yankees were a few years ago. I think they're just going to spend and and it's not going to matter. If they want
Listen,
someone, they're
God
going to get
bless
it.
them. Whatever.
I mean, remember,
it must be nice to have that much money. But.
In the winter, they came in second place for Garrett Cole. The Yankees were not going to be denied with him, but they are in on every single guy. They were in on Rendon too. They will get anyone they want.
Except Garrett Cole.
Money is never an issue. If they don't get him, it's because another team just completely blew him out of the water. So I think the Dodgers, they don't care about money. They want to win, and that's
it hasn't worked.
They're in Los Angeles. It hasn't worked. They've won 7 straight division titles. It's hard to win a World Series.
Mazel tov, but they haven't won a World Series.
That's fair, but they feel like Mookie Betts now can put them over the top.
But that's a lot of money and a lot of years to risk without watching him play in a Dodgers uniform.
All right, Kash, let me ask you this.
It's not like he's playing in Kansas City or Colorado. He's playing in Boston. If you can handle Boston, you can handle Los Angeles.
Kash, let me ask you this. We have Giancarlo Stanton the Yankees have Giancarlo Stanton for what? 9 more years, however many it is, $300+ million. We sign Aaron Judge. He's going to command that much. Are you going to say the same thing there? Because I feel like the situations are pretty comparable there.
I could promise you all the money in the world that if Giancarlo Stanton was a free agent when the Yankees signed
No, that's not what I'm asking you. What I'm saying is that money's still tied up. So let's for the sake of this comparison, let's equate Mookie Betts and Giancarlo Stanton, and then equate Aaron Judge and Cody Bellinger, 2 guys who are up for a big contract pretty soon. Every one of them are an outfielder.
Right.
Would you be okay with the Yankees paying Aaron Judge big money like that because the talent is comparable to Mookie Betts?
No.
No? So you'd let him walk before you paid him a talent like that?
At his age, when he's going to be a free agent?
Well, Mookie Betts is what, 26, 27?
He's 27.
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than Judge is. Judge isn't 30 yet. Maybe a year
but
younger.
he also
28.
His contract isn't up yet.
But he will be.
The difference
next
between
year?
Betts and Judge is Betts stays healthy.
The other thing is,
they're both big money moves that are going to need to be made to have a second stud outfielder in your outfield that will make you a contender. The Yankees without Judge are not as good as they are with Judge,
but their record says otherwise.
Judge and Stanton have been on the same team together. We've seen them play together, so the argument there is a little more justified than the Yankees have. All I'm saying is we don't know how. I don't know.
It's not football. You don't need chemistry to play baseball. You just got to make sure that they can communicate in the gap in the outfield. They go up to the plate, they hit. It's all individual. It is what it is. We know who Mookie Betts is. I don't care what uniform he's played in.
I mean, if you have the opportunity, if you're the Dodgers, to add top 3 player in the game, I know you have. Even if you have Bellinger, who's your homegrown guy, you're still going to make that play.
All I'm saying is, if you take a free agent, right? If you take a look at a guy like Manny Machado who took 6 months, or Bryce Harper who took 5 months to decide where he's going to play next. I feel like Mookie didn't – listen, I don't know Mookie. He didn't answer my phone call, but he didn't take it into consideration. He just had negotiations with the team he happens to be on now. He didn't pick the Dodgers. He was traded to the Dodgers. So what happens in 5 years –
I don't understand your argument. Are you criticizing the Dodgers for making the move, or Mookie not waiting for free agency?
A little bit of both, because what happens in 5 years if Mookie says, I don't like it here. I want out. But I'll only go to the Kansas City Royals.
I mean, that's hypothetical. I mean, I can make the argument that he's going to love Los Angeles because the city's nice and the team's always winning. But if that happens, I mean, we see players waive trade clauses all the time.
But this is my point. Okay, my point is, like,
it's not dead money though. That's the thing. That money falls off the book. I think it's only like $65 million of that is a signing bonus that they would lose, and they would lose. Not even lose it, but they'd pay his salary and they'd get the production that they're going to get, which is inevitably going to be there. That's
fair. That's fair. But
and you'd get trade pieces back. If you trade Mookie Betts at 31, 32 years old, I mean, chances are you're still going to get something pretty half decent back with 5 years left on the contract.
Well, I mean, you think that, but look what the Yankees gave up for Stanton. The Marlins got the short end of the stick big time. And when
it was a given that the Marlins were tearing it down. I don't think the Dodgers are going to be tearing it down.
No, that's not my point. But the Marlins had no idea that they were going to be tearing it down.
No, but it's different with the Marlins.
Stanton was the last to go. Yelich was gone.
Stan, Yelich, and Ozuna got traded because they got a new ownership in Derek Jeter, and the team was in financial hell from the previous ownership, so they had to cut salary and they had to not get anything in return. The Red Sox got good players in return, and the Dodgers got 2 stars in Price and Betts. And
I just feel like you're looking at this like
the Dodgers always made that deal with the intention of re-signing or extending Mookie Betts, and they did.
Well, of course. I mean, that's the goal.
And I don't think these talks started today. That's the thing. they've had.
No,
this
I'm sure
talked
not. I'm
about.
sure not. I'm just playing devil's advocate, signing 13 years for a team that you haven't played for. It's a lot of years.
But that's what every free agent does. Then most
So
of
Cole
them
just did. Cole just signed 10 years with the Yankees. He's never
But it's
played
not
for the
like
Yankees
the
before.
Red Sox traded him to the Marlins, and now he's signing 13 years with the Marlins.
This is
They're
a
the
perennial
Dodgers.
division
Literally the
winner
Los Angeles
with an
Dodgers.
ownership that will always spend whatever it takes. They might not win every year, but they will do their damn best to win every year. And if you're Mookie Betts or any player in baseball, there's nothing more you can ask for. So I feel God
a
bless.
ring.
God bless. So Mookie,
I could bet a lot of money that the Dodgers will have a chip in the next 13 years.
if they win one
No.
in the next 5 or 2 in the next 5, then the last 5 where Mookie might not be the same player, that would be worth it to them. Just like if Cole wins a World Series or 2 in the first 4 years of his deal, the previous 5, and then the next 5 aren't as great, the Yankees would take that. That's how these
The
mega
next
deals work.
13 World Series are going to go to the Yankees. So sorry, Ty. Dodgers aren't winning any of them.
And Catch, wait, I want to touch on your point before. Like, what if they want to go after a pitcher? They're
They can.
bona fide, not even that, but they're bona fide ace right now. Outside of Clayton Kershaw, they're ace of the future. Once Kershaw inevitably retires or doesn't get renewed, which I can't see him playing for any other team. But they have Walker Buehler, who's in a very cheap situation for them right now. They have a young guy in Dustin May coming up behind him. Like they have a young, stacked, prospect-filled pitching core right now, and guys waiting in the wings. So like it's not an issue for them right now.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Dodgers is they're one of the deepest franchises in sports in baseball. Their farm system is always near the top. They sent down their top prospect, Gavin Lux, the other day, and they're like, "Oh, no big deal. We'll start somebody else at second base." Like Gavin Lux was previewed to be a rookie of the year, and he's getting sent down to start the year because they have guys that are better than him. They have a ton of prospects that are in the wings that they can call up and are cheaper. So I don't think the Dodgers are concerned whatsoever.
And then you can use those
long-term.
chips that aren't going to be in your future, and you could package them for the pitcher or whatever you need. They're in such a great spot, both what they have on their major league field now and their system, and the fact that their division isn't that good and not competitive. So now is the time to go for the kill. Like they tried in the offseason with Cole, that didn't work out. So now they got Betts.
Listen, good for them, and hopefully it works out for them. But I'm just saying, it's a lot of years for someone you've never watched play in your uniform before. I'm just saying.
But that's every free agent.
We shouldn't be harping on this because I think it's stupid. You even predicted this, Cash. You said I'm going to get crap for this, and you got crap for it, and I think deservedly so. You got crap for it.
I'm not arguing. I'm just playing devil's advocate. That's what I do.
You don't need to always play devil's advocate. That's the thing, especially on something where you're arguing signing Mookie Betts to a large, well-deserved deal to the Dodgers. All right, Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, yeah, we'll agree to disagree on this one. The Blue Jays are in a world of limbo and trouble because the Canadian government said you can't play in Rogers Center. They wanted to move them to Buffalo. The Blue Jays are like, hold on, we'd rather have major league facilities and that kind of – we don't want to play in a minor league park for 30 games. So then they were going to play in Pittsburgh and then one series in New York and another series somewhere else. And then Pittsburgh was like, no, you're not coming here either. So now on the eve of opening day, as we're recording, the Blue Jays don't have a home park. They had, I don't understand. Canada knew what was going to happen. They knew there was a virus going on. They knew for a good month now that there was going to be a season of 60 games. Why is it that the day before opening day, they say, oh, yeah, you can't play here. Or a few days before opening day, oh, never mind, you can't play here. They should have said this immediately so the Blue Jays had ample time to figure out a backup plan. I don't get how this happened.
Yeah, it's an odd situation, especially since the team had reported to Toronto. They were training in Toronto. They were practicing there. The Canadian government told them, if you guys leave your bubble, because I'm pretty sure they were all going to be staying at Rogers Center. Because
yeah, the hotel connected.
It's a hotel as well, which is awesome. I want to go there and see that. But they told him if they break their bubble, they'd face a $750,000 fine and potential jail time if they had broken their bubble. So what changed within that time frame where then they decided, oh no, you guys aren't going to play here, and essentially kicked them out of the country?
I think they realized that teams were going to come in to the country.
That's probably what the issue was.
Well, so I could answer that partially. So I know that two of the teams in our league are from Canada, or were from Canada, they are not participating this year because the Canadian borders are completely shut down. So from what I understand with what's going on with the Blue Jays is there was a lot of back and forth, and I think that the Blue Jays thought that they could have got this done before opening day, and obviously they were wrong. But Canada shut down until like almost 2021.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and I feel bad that the players have to deal with this. I mean, it's definitely a disadvantage compared to the other 29 teams that have a stable home and a stable place to play, and they can live in their own apartments in their home cities. The Blue Jays aren't like that. But I think what kind of saves the Blue Jays is how young they are. I feel like if this was a veteran team, that would bother them a little bit more. But these are guys that just got called up last year, guys like a Bichette and a Guerrero and a Biggio who grew up in Major League Baseball because of their fathers. So I feel like this isn't going to be detrimental to their season,
They're also
but
not
it's
that
just
good.
it's just annoying. It would just be annoying. But some of the places they can play, I guess they can go to their Florida minor league facility, but then you got another trip to Florida for all these teams they have to play, and Florida is the biggest hotbed in the country right now.
Yeah,
So,
I think one of the things they were concerned about with playing down in Dunedin though was no roof. So with the rain, there's the potential for a lot of rainouts. And then I don't see why they couldn't go back to Buffalo at this point and just suck it up for those 30 games.
I think baseball is going to have to step in and say, hey,
or
2 months you're going to have to live in Buffalo.
I mean, one of the other things I saw Ken Rosenthal put out there is play every single game on the road. Wherever you guys, whoever you're supposed to play, you show up in that city. If you're supposed to be the home team, then you're the home team at that point. Like I know at the beginning of the season,
Rail Riders did that for one season. The Yankees minor league system, as they were rebuilding the home facility, the entire season was on the road.
Which different sport and completely different situation. But the Saints did that because of Katrina for a season. So it's not unheard of that a professional team plays every game on the road.
It's just harder with baseball because you're playing back-to-back days. I did see that they're in D.C. to start the year. After Boston, I think they go to D.C. and they play 4 games there, where 2 of them they'll be the away team, and then the next 2 they'll be the home team. I think that might become the most logical thing at this point, since we're so late in the game with the season starting at this point. I mean, since the Pennsylvania Board of Health shut them down, I don't think a lot of other major league cities are going to be like, hey, let's bring in even more people to come play here. I think cities are trying to limit the amount. So
is there a really nice facilitated D1 college that can host them anywhere? Like a Syracuse?
Yeah, but they're all
not in the Northeast.
Yeah,
they're all in the South.
Northeast based like college programs are.
And Syracuse also doesn't have a baseball team.
No, they don't. That's right. I was just trying to think of what's close to Toronto.
It's probably still like 30 degrees up there, Cash.
I was even thinking about like other minor league, like other good like minor league programs. Like one of the teams that popped in my head was like the Durham Bulls. Don't they have a really nice facility down in North Carolina? Like why couldn't the Blue Jays be there and kind of be in the middle of the division that they're playing in with everybody on that East Coast? Like I feel like that could be a situation. Like I don't know. It's hard, and it definitely sucks for the Blue Jays. But as you mentioned, being a young team that they are, maybe it's something that kind of brings them all together, and they rally around that, and they play well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you bond more. In my experience playing baseball, I bonded more with my friends and who I played with when we went to tournaments and we traveled, not going home every day. So, I mean.
Yeah, but did you do it?
And they're not projected to win
60 days
this
out of
year.
67 days?
I know that's fair, but, they're professionals. They're getting paid. They can do it. They're adults. But it's definitely not ideal for the Blue Jays to have to deal with that. So we'll see what happens with that. It's crazy that all of this is happening right before the season starts. And another thing that happened, John Heyman reported today, that they're still negotiating if the playoffs are going to be expanded or not, from 10 to 16. So I was just
I'm not sure I believe that, to be honest.
I just want, well, it is out there. So I just wanted, before we get into our projections for the season and awards and all that, just really quick on this topic, your thoughts on expanded playoffs in baseball from 10 to 16. I kind of like how baseball is now. unlike the other sports of how exclusive or how hard it is to get into the playoffs. NBA, everyone makes the playoffs basically. NHL, the same thing. Baseball and football are the only two playoffs where the best of the best make it, and there's no fluke teams. So I know it's a different season. It's 60 games, but if you have a 16-team playoff, I mean, a team like the Yankees or the Dodgers, I mean, they're just going to sleepwalk through the regular season because they basically clinch already.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it adds more value to being a postseason team. Like, if there's 16 teams, there's a chance we're looking at a team that has like 77 wins, a team under 500 making the postseason, just the way that baseball is. I mean, not this season, not somebody with 77 wins, but like long term,
But a
That'd be
team
pretty
that
impressive.
if it becomes a thing now, it's not going to go away. And I
Mhm.
don't want that long term because I think it does devalue the regular season. We see it in the NBA. No one cares about a regular season game in
January.
December and January. It doesn't mean anything to those teams. The only thing that matters is that postseason. Like, baseball is so exciting because there's only so many spots for you to make it. Like, those last every month really matter. Like, other than I always discount April. Like, you could suck in April and make the playoffs. We saw last year with the Nationals. Those late season months are so important. Whereas if there's 16 teams that are going to make it, kind of takes away from that.
I mean, you can hypothetically see a team this year with 60 games go 29-31 or 30-30 and make the playoffs. That's not baseball to me. Tyler, what are your
it's not
thoughts on the
exciting.
playoffs?
Devalues.
I don't know. I mean, for this season, I'm okay with it. But if we're talking like Scott said, if you want to keep this going throughout, I don't want it to be devalued because not only is it not more than just about double the size of an NBA season. I don't know. It just, when you slump in baseball, you have a chance to recover. And when you slump in the NBA, you really don't have a chance to recover. But I don't really know where I'm going with this. But I don't know. I don't really care. For this season, I think it would be cool because it's more baseball.
To me, it's not really about the teams that make the playoffs in the expanded playoffs. It's just the devaluation of the regular season. You see in the NBA, LeBron James is just going to take a day off because he can, because it doesn't matter, because he's going to make the playoffs anyway. You don't want that in baseball. You don't want Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge. You don't want Christian Yelich or whatever, these big players on teams that compete to just blow off games and series because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're going to make the playoffs anyway.
I think it's also a little bit different because baseball, you just need such a high level of focus to play it at a high level. Where in basketball, like if you're real good at basketball in the NBA, like if LeBron wanted to go 50, 60, 70%, he can still go out there and he can probably get maybe like he can put up 20 points going 60% in an NBA game. But in baseball, if you go up to the plate with a 60% mentality, you're going to get eaten up every single time. Same thing in the field. If you want to take your mind off of 40% of the pitches or you just want to be half there in the field, chances are you're going to make a mistake when the ball is hit to you. I don't care how good you are at baseball or how sharp you are, whether you're Mookie Betts with a $365 million contract. It doesn't matter. It's just like it's a completely different game. And like, I don't know. My mind says if you want to put 16 teams in this year, fine, more baseball. But going forward, I think you really got to earn it.
So here's
I'm okay
my
with
question.
expanding the wild card a little bit.
Like
not
the
to
teams that
16
make the
total
wild card at
teams.
2 out of 3 games, that could be.
Yeah, I think that is okay, but not 16 teams.
I have a question. So going from 10 teams to 16 teams, that would what? That would lengthen the offseason.
That'd be three more per team, per league.
Okay, so that would lengthen the postseason.
The postseason, yes.
In a season where everyone is so worried about a second wave, what are they doing?
Adding more games.
Okay, so my point, what are they doing? Everyone's so worried about finishing
because they want more advertising dollars on playoff.
But we couldn't have more regular season games?
I don't understand. Rob Manfred came out and straight up said there will not be more than 60 games the whole time. And now you want to add playoff games? MLB continues to get it wrong every time.
They go back on what they contradict themselves.
I don't even think it's necessarily an MLB thing. I think it's a complete pandemic thing where the fact that not one person has stuck with their gun, not one person in high power has stuck with their guns on this to the point where it is now July 22nd. We still don't know the effective way to combat the virus. We still have no freaking clue. Not a single clue. Are masks truly effective? Are they not effective? Are the test results effective? Are they not effective? Nobody knows. Everyone's just playing guesswork at this point, in which, I mean, I guess you can't really blame them. We've never seen anything like it. But
I totally agree with you, Ty, but what I don't understand is if you're so worried about a second wave, you shouldn't be adding more games to the end of the season.
I'm with you on that. I'm just saying, like,
It just
in terms
doesn't
of the
make sense
pandemic,
to
we
me.
have
You
no
wanna-
idea what's going on, and people are
Right.
scrambling.
Right,
That's
and you think that we're going to add a second wave is going to come once it gets a little colder. Well, now you're going to go even further into the cold. Whatever. Like I said, they continue to get it wrong.
Yeah, and we got to take into account the man reporting it in John Heyman. The guy is continually wrong with anything that he says. I don't trust him whatsoever. So I hope we don't get this expanded playoffs, and I hope John Heyman is wrong once again.
So that's the current state of Major League Baseball. Like 22 and a half hours before first pitch in DC. Anthony Fauci's going to throw out the first pitch. I thought that was interesting. But
I think it is a little bit interesting.
That's the world we live in right now.
I wonder if he's going to wear a mask.
I would assume he will. I'm sure there's a betting line on that.
It seems so. I don't really want to dive into this because it's going to drive me nuts. But I just want to say one thing.
I love
him.
Ty.
Him agreeing to throw out the first pitch is the most contradictory thing you can possibly do in a man in his position during what is going on right now. A month ago, and this goes back to my prior point, a month ago, this guy was saying that the NFL should not be playing football with fans. He's against sports returning. He's against schools opening up, but he's going to be the face of the guy throwing out a pitch on opening day, Yankees versus Nationals. For what reason? Why? I don't freak out. I don't think this is the first time I've freaked out on this episode. I'm pretty close. Not even this episode, the podcast as a whole. But that's that. I don't understand. We don't have to debate
This is
this.
the most
Somebody has a
upset I've seen
rebuttal,
you since the Jacoby Ellsbury albatross.
because it just
back
drives
on the
me
radio.
nuts when people talk out of their ass. I don't like it. Yes, he's qualified, but sometimes when you don't know the answer to something, just keep your mouth shut until you do. That's that. That's all I got to say.
All right, so Ty's going to get off his soapbox while we do some
Not on a
MLB
soapbox.
projections. We're going to do some MLB projections. We're going to do our division winners. We're going to do some awards, and then we're going to wrap that up by doing our playoff and World Series picks. Tyler wrote a few fantastic blogs on Caps On.
Only two of them are out right
only
now.
two.
Maybe by the time this drops, I'll have the others released. I mean, I got the AL and the NL East out first because, I mean, and the West is definitely going to be out tomorrow just because the Dodgers and the Giants are playing. Nobody from each Central Division plays till Saturday, I believe.
Okay.
So they'll be out.
So he has the AL East and NL East blogs up. You guys definitely need to check that out. And we're going to start with Tyler, since he was nice enough to write those blogs and put them on Caps On. We're going to start with the AL East. And who do we got? What's your order?
My order is I have the Yankees coming in first. I have the Rays coming in second. I have the Red Sox coming in third, the Blue Jays coming in fourth, and the Orioles coming in fifth. Same exact order as last year.
So I have a very similar
changed.
order. I have the Yankees winning the division, and I have the Rays in the wild card. Tyler, do you have the Rays as the wild card?
Yeah. Yep.
The only difference I have is because going back a few episodes, I had the Red Sox at under in our over-under shows. I have the Blue Jays ahead of the Red Sox. I have the Blue Jays at 500, even with the fact that we don't know where they're playing. I have them at 30 and 30. I have the Red Sox at 27 and 33. That's how much distrust I have in the Red Sox starting rotation. And in terms of the Yankees against the Rays, I was thinking about this the last couple of days when I was making this order. I saw Joel Sherman do his prediction. He actually had the Rays winning. He didn't really give a lot of context to why. The Rays have a fantastic pitching staff. That can't go unsaid. Fantastic. Comparable with the Yankees, maybe even better if you go by depth, 1 to 3, even with because of Severino being out. But I do have the Yankees winning the division because I just feel like the Yankees lineup can outslug the Rays. I don't think the Rays lineup can hold their own against the Yankees lineup. If you go 1 through 9 in position and in the batting order, the Yankees, I think they slug themselves to a 39, 21, 40, and 20 record, and I think they win the division.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I would agree. Yankees are clearly the front runner in this division. Lineup top to bottom, easily one of the best in baseball. Pitching staff is good, especially with the addition of Garrett Cole. Arguably the best bullpen in baseball, plus depth. Rays, same thing. Agree with you guys coming in second place. And as a wild card team, their pitching starting rotation is phenomenal. Charlie Morton, Blake Snell leading the way there, and some young guys and Tyler Glasnow. They have a great bullpen too. It's a lot of kind of no names, but they produce, and a lot of guys that throw the ball hard. They did lose a solid lefty in Colin Poche. He's having Tommy John surgery, which is a loss for them. But as the Rays are, they'll find somebody. But you mentioned it. Their lineup, there's really no big name in that lineup. They went out and they got Hunter Renfroe, who's a good power bat.
I mean, Austin Meadows is fantastic.
Austin Meadows is probably he's the best hitter in that on that lineup. But then you have a guy like Kevin Kiermaier, who's known for his glove, not so much his bat, and then a bunch of other no names. I would put the Red Sox third, just because they're the Red Sox. Blue Jays and Orioles, both young teams. Blue Jays have more promise, so I'd put them in fourth. And then Orioles are just one of the worst teams in baseball, even though they took it to the Phillies the other night in a scrimmage. But it's all good.
Cash, you were smiling at me like I said something that you disagree with when I was talking about the Rays.
I just know I'm about to get absolutely roasted alive.
You have the Rays winning the division.
It wouldn't be the first time in the past 30 minutes.
Absolutely not. I don't have the Rays winning. I have the Yankees going 6-0, but not actually. I have the Yankees winning the division, and then I also have the Orioles coming in last and the Blue Jays coming in fourth. I have the Red Sox coming in second.
Really?
Yeah. Like Scott was saying, there's no guy in the lineup for me in the Rays lineup, and it's such an offensively powered league, and in a league that really does rely on such high numbers in the run column. I have the Red Sox lineup as a better lineup than the Rays.
But I'm gonna take what you just said and use that against you if you let me.
Yeah,
The
I don't care.
Rays,
Do whatever you want.
The Rays have the pitching to combat the fact that it's a hitting league. The Red Sox have nobody.
And so do the Mets, and the Mets don't win. So explain to me that. Riddle me that.
It's a fair point.
So listen, there's a very good chance that I'm wrong, but I don't see the Rays having a good year this year. I have the Red Sox coming in second. And it hurts me to say because I hate Boston. Sorry, Sandy. But I hate Boston.
I'm not gonna completely ridicule you for that because I can see a scenario where that does happen, especially if Tyler Glasnow, who's injury prone, goes down, Blake Snell goes down. You're left with Charlie Morton and the bullpen game. It's pretty much it.
The other thing,
They do a very good job with that, though.
You can't fill 4 rotation spots with a bullpen game.
It's such a short season too. I do really respect Kevin Cash. I think he's a great manager, but I think it's a possibility that he kind of goes overboard with the bullpen early on in the season because it's a short season. They're still going to get tired. Guys still get tired.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Red Sox can get hot. I don't know. I have the Red Sox coming in second.
Do you just feel like the allure of being the Boston Red Sox pushes them to being in second? Do you feel like that's part of it?
That's definitely part of it. And the fact of the matter is they're always going to compete.
They have dudes. They still, even without Betts, they have Martinez. They have
right. You have
Devers.
JD Martinez. You have Xander Bogaerts. You have JD Drew.
No, they don't.
JD Drew?
Not J. Why did I just say that?
JD Martinez.
No, JD Martinez. Jeez.
Wow. I don't know.
You went back about 12 years.
We can cut that out in post. Actually, we're not going to do that because I like that.
They have Manny Ramirez.
It's actually going to go on the Instagram. That's what we're going to do.
David Ortiz came back.
They have Carlos Scremsky. I can't even fucking pronounce it, so I fucked up the joke. Whatever. It's fine. They have Ted Williams.
But no, they got guys, so. But go Yanks.
Dudes. That's fine. Any last second notes on the AL East? We didn't talk about the Blue Jays or Orioles a lot.
JD Drew? What the
JD Drew really threw me off. So I think we all went chalk with the Yankees winning division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ty and Scott have the Rays in second, and myself as the wild card as well. Cash, do you have the Red Sox as a wild card?
No.
No? Okay. So we're going to go back up to Ty. Ty, I'm going to give you the choice. We can either cross league to the NL East or we can go down to the AL Central and keep it there.
Well, I have the NL East up on my computer at the moment,
All right,
so
fine.
let's go there. So I got the Braves winning the division. I did have the Mets
Go
coming in
Braves.
second place
But
in the
Stroman.
division. But Stroman is now out. So now I don't know necessarily if DeGrom can put that team on his back with Michael Wacha behind him
And Rick Porcello.
Rick Porcello.
And
I don't know
Steven
if that's going to
Matz.
happen. I don't know. It's just not going to happen.
No.
And Robert Gazelman's on the IR also. So who's going to be that fifth guy in a
And
shortened
Jed
season?
Lowry's
You might
hurt
not
again.
need it.
So there's
Jed
that.
Lowry hasn't played in years. I have the Phillies in third place. I have the Nationals in a shocking fourth place, followed by the Marlins.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry. Who's in fourth?
The Nationals.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
You don't
so
like
I
the
got.
Nationals? You think it's a one-year wonder?
Wait, I think I might have messed that one up. What I did have was. Let me repeat this.
Breathe.
Before the Stroman thing, I had Braves, Mets, Phillies, Nationals, Marlins. But now that Stroman is out, I'm going to adjust that and put the Mets below the Nationals, drop them
fourth.
2 spots, and go Braves. I'm drawing a blank here. Braves, Phillies, Nationals, Mets, Marlins. And that's that.
Okay. We got through it.
We're good. So
Yeah.
I'm exhausted from my rant before. That's what it is.
All right. So 2 things. Why are the Nationals in third, and why do you have the Braves as the winner?
But I just think the Braves are the strongest lineup.
Oh yeah, they are.
That's just really what it is. No other lineup. Maybe the Phillies really competes with the bats that they have there. I'm really big on the young lefty arms that the Braves have in their rotation. I mean, they've been very inconsistent from year to year in the past. But they just brought in a guy like Cole Hamels, who is a veteran pitcher who knows how to throw. And aside from that, he's a lefty that can teach young lefty arms how to be an effective lefty in the major leagues. And guys like Sean Newcomb, Max Fried, like these guys they showed flashes of greatness last year. And then you have Mike Soroka topping off that lineup, who had a great year last year. Top in the rotation. I think that these guys are just really, really, really good, and they deserve to win this spot.
Yeah, I mean, they've won the division in the last 2 years. I'm shocked that you have the Nationals below the Phillies.
It just goes back to the lineup. Like the Phillies have bullpen problems. I know Scott can probably talk to that a little bit, especially with David Robertson out with Tommy John. But their rotation is pretty formidable. I'm like, if Jake Arrieta can really step up and be a viable starter, I think a rotation of what is it? Nola, Arrieta, Zach Wheeler, Vince Velasquez, and the fifth would be what? Eflin?
It's Eflin to start the year, but they have Spencer Howard, their top prospect, who's going to the minor leagues for the first 6 games, and then he'll be up afterwards to most likely take that spot in the rotation or be a 6th person in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, what we forget is that Jake Arrieta was a guy before the change of scenery. He threw a no-hitter in Chicago.
It was fantastic in Chicago.
Great success at Wrigley Field. And if he can even get back to 75% of that, that is a huge, huge piece. I think he might be close to 75%. He might have even been performing at 75%. You can't really measure that much, but like he has the potential to be a very good 2-starter in that rotation.
And he dealt with injuries. He'll drop down to the 3 with the addition of Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
He's dealt with some injuries the last couple of years, but he's gone out there every single time he's taken the ball and he competes. That's what I like out of Arrieta. Is the guy's a grinder. He came up with the Orioles and absolutely sucked.
Yep.
It took him years to figure it out. Went to Chicago and became an ace. Was great. Came to Philly on a 3-year, $75 million contract. Hasn't lived up to that, but he's still a guy that you can go out there. He's going to compete every single night he's out there. He's going to give you 5-6 innings, which you need, especially in a shortened season. You need guys, go out there and compete and, give it their best every single time. He's obviously not the same guy anymore, but if he's your 3, I think that's a fair 3 to have anywhere.
I
I'm
think this
completely with you.
division is the toughest. I think it's the most competitive. I think 4 teams can win it. 4 up until the Stroman news. So, Scott, this is your division. You're the Philly fan of the podcast. So, I'm going to go to you about your predictions about the NL East.
Good. You know what? I'll be a homer.
Go ahead.
The Phillies are going to win the division. Spice things up.
Tell me
They
why.
have to. They have to at this point. It's been coming. We've been building towards this. You go out and you sign Bryce Harper last year. He has, in my standards, in my eyes, he had a great year last year with 35 home runs, hit 260, played a great right field. You have JT Realmuto, the best catcher in baseball. You have Rhys Hoskins, a guy who can produce. He struggled last year, but it's there. We've seen it. You bring in Didi Gregorius. You guys love him. He's been great. He's an awesome shortstop. And then you bring in Joe Girardi to manage this team. A leader in the clubhouse. He's won multiple. Did he win a manager of the year with the Yankees?
No, but with the Marlins, he did.
Not so. He won the one with the Marlins. He's won a World Series with the Yankees. It's just time. You go out. You add Zach Wheeler to go along with Nola. As I mentioned, we have Spencer Howard, who is one of the favorites to be a Rookie of the Year as the starting pitcher. Ty mentioned it. The bullpen is, a question mark. My guy, Hector Neris, he's great in save situations, but as soon as you bring him in a non-situation, he blows up. We spent $30 million on David Robertson. He's pitched 3 innings. He's not going to pitch this year. So we're going to get him on the last year of his contract next year. A big arm in Sir Anthony Dominguez had a setback with his Tommy John. Won't see him this year. So the bullpen's definitely the biggest question mark.
Can't forget what's his name.
You forgot him.
Who the guy? Yeah, Well, I know he's not a big name guy, but the guy that gave up the
You
home run
can't
to
say
Mike
don't
Ford.
forget and then forget to say his name.
Yeah, well, don't forget that he.
Yovera, he got sent down.
Yeah, well,
Mauricio
Ronald
forget about
Yovera.
About Ronald Torreyes.
I don't think he made the team.
Great
that's
clubhouse guy.
unfortunate.
Love
he
the
got sent
clip
down.
of that Hoppy kid.
Yeah,
See this?
that was pretty
Yankee
pretty
fan
cool
growing
moment.
up. Caught a home run ball a couple years ago in Yankee Stadium, and then now he's
Almost hit one.
fantastic. Just great.
He was
Yeah,
pretty
so-
close. Almost with a
Who do you
winning
have
streak.
behind the Phillies?
So the rest of my division, Braves, second place wild card team,
Mhm.
third place Nationals. I think they just take a step back. Anthony Rendon is going to be a huge loss for them.
Mhm.
He's going to be more of a loss for the Nationals than Bryce Harper was. Rendon's a guy that hits 300 plus every single year. I mean, their rotation's great. Strasburg, Scherzer, Corbin is probably the best 3 you can get, but they're going to take a step back. Mets in fourth place. The Stroman injury is huge. He was going to be the number 2 in that rotation. Tearing his calf is not good. And then the Marlins coming in 5th. We all know the Marlins stink. Still rebuilding everywhere. So Phillies, Braves, Nats, Mets, and Marlins is my order.
I mean, I can't blame you for being a homer. As Tyler left.
I gotta believe.
You have to. I mean, it's fair. I'll go with me. I am probably the only one that has the Nationals winning the division. A couple of reasons. I know Rendon's loss is going to be tough. I understand that. But in a 60-game season, to me, if more than half of those are being started by Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin, more likely than not, you're going to win those games. I know both divisions, the AL East and the NL East, are very good. I know it's a very tough schedule. I know the Braves and the Phillies are up and coming, and they're going to fight for that division. Even the Mets, too. Even without Stroman, I feel like they could put up a fight. I don't think they will, but they could. I feel like the Nationals just ride the momentum of their World Series. I think they win the division. And I have my records. I don't know if you guys did records. I have the Phillies in third place. They're missing out the division by 2 games. That's how much I think this division is close. So I have the Nationals 1. I have the Braves 2 at the wild card. And then I have the Phillies 1 game behind that. I really think it can go either way. I think however the way the ball rolls this season, it can be a completely different 1, 2, 3, 4 in the division. And then I have Mets at 30 and 30. That's because of the Stroman thing. I think that sucks because the Mets lose out on Syndergaard. They lose out on Stroman. They lose Wheeler to the Phillies, a division rival. and you really don't know what Walker and Porcello are right now. So I think the Mets are in trouble, although I do think they have the potential to maybe climb in for a wild card conversation, and then obviously have the Marlins at 15 and 45. The Marlins suck. They have a good farm system, but they're not ready.
Do you think Zimmerman not being there has any impact on the Nationals?
I think not necessarily.
I don't know.
Like it is what it is.
I feel like there's a momentum into winning the World Series.
It's a fair argument, but you can also make the argument that there's going to be that World Series hangover, and that post-championship hangover that we see. I mean, outside of Rendon, that team's it's a relatively young team at this point. There's a lot of Trey Turner's still young. Victor Robles is young. Those are their main guys at this. Soto is obviously one of the best. But he's still young too. Can Soto now become a leader of that clubhouse?
Now they got Soto, they got Turner, they have Eaton. They still have guys, even without Rendon and Harper. They're a good baseball team.
Your argument is absolutely fair, and we've mentioned it 1,000 times. These two divisions, the AL East and the NL East, are 1 and 2 best divisions in baseball. So the fact that they have to play each other 60 times is going to be brutal. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be fun to watch. So you said it. This order can go any which direction at this point.
Kash, you've been quiet on the NL East. What do you got?
I don't see how Stroman going down is such a big loss for the Mets because I truly do not understand the lore they had to begin with. I thought they were – I think they're horrible with Stroman. I think they're horrible with Syndergaard.
Horrible is a really bad way to put it because the Mets were 86 and 76 last year. They were 4 games off of winning They were 4 games off winning 90 games.
I think they have the best record after August 1st.
I don't see them
you don't
coming
like the
together.
Mets. That's fine.
It's nothing to do with it. I don't like the Red Sox, and I just have them beating the Rays. I don't – first of all, the 2 scrimmages, the exhibition games, they looked like they were playing with the wrong glove hand. They looked horrible.
Yeah, they didn't look good in the field. I'll give you that.
And, how much longer are we going to watch Cano perform before we realize he doesn't have it anymore?
That goes into a completely separate conversation about Brodie Van Wagenen and forcing his managers to hit Cano third when he shouldn't be.
How much longer are we going to talk about Yoenis Cespedes before he's just done? Because he is done.
He looked bad. I saw a clip of him running to first base. He looked
they
miserable.
told him not to try to run. They told him to go 60%.
This guy,
he can't regardless.
Dominic Smith has been up and coming for the Mets for 12 years.
Same with Ahmed or Rosario.
Rosario has been the next big thing, and Glaber's already surpassed him, and he's 5 years older. Enough's enough. The Mets are garbage. With that being said, I have the Braves in first, the Nationals in second, winning the wild card, the Phillies in third, and I don't know. I have 1A and 1B with the Mets and Marlins. I think they're both so terrible. I guess I'll put the Mets in fourth to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I think
you have winning again?
Braves,
okay.
Nationals winning the wild card, Phillies, Mets, Marlins. But not that far apart, Mets and Marlins.
I mean, you can't really argue because as me and Scott were talking about, like any of this can fluctuate with this division. It's that close. I think it's the closest of all of baseball. So it's the team it's the division that has the defending champs, and it's the team that has probably one of the best young players in Acuna, Bryce Harper, DeGrom, one of the best pitchers the best pitcher in baseball, or at least the National League. It's an exciting division. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So now we're going to move to the AL Central, Tyler.
All right. This is like a tough division for me outside of – I mean, not even outside of a team. Like the Twins are favored at -130 right now to win the division. I understand where that comes from. I think they're a really good team, but the rotation has questions for me because it's Jose Barrios, and then I need to even refer to this. Like they have – what is this?
Jake Odorizzi.
They have Jake Odorizzi. They have 8 guys listed in the rotation right now, where a team like the Dodgers on their depth chart on their team site have 4. It's Kershaw, Julio Urias, Walker Buehler and Alex Wood, maybe. Is he even on the team anymore? It's Alex Wood?
Yeah.
So just purely based off the optics here, they don't know who their rotation is. It's Jose Barrios, Jake Odorizzi, Kenta Maeda, Homer Bailey, Randy Dobnak, who was like the whole Cinderella story last year.
The Uber driver.
Uber driver. Devin Smeltzer, Rich Hill, and Michael Pineda. Outside of Jose Barrios, I really don't have anybody I'm confident in this rotation. Now, the lineup is where they deserve to be favored. Not a lot of big-name guys. They got Josh Donaldson. Outside of him, Miguel Sano.
They had 5 guys hit 30 home runs last year, though, and they had Donaldson who hit 30 home runs last year.
I know, but when you're talking,
you don't know them
guys,
because they play for the Twins, but they're good players and they can hit.
It's not that you don't know them because they play for the Twins. It's like Mitch Garver is the starting catcher. Then you got Marwin Gonzalez, who is a switch-hitting role player around the field. He's a good player. Willians Astudillo, who's, again, much of the same, just a very high-contact guy who can play all over the place. Jorge Polanco, same thing. Eddie Rosario, good player, same thing. Just kind of one of those better. They're just a little bit better than average guys, and some guys that are a little bit better than that. They don't have any really real superstars on their team. Max Kepler is good. Byron Buxton is good in his own right. I don't know, but then you look at a team like the White Sox, and then you have the big name guys on the Indians. I know the Indians don't have the rotation that they had with the big name guys. Corey Kluber is gone. Trevor Bauer is gone. Salazar, is he still there?
He's gone.
He's gone. Carlos Carrasco has been battling health issues. But then again, I would take the Indians lineup over the Twins lineup. Call me crazy. I don't know.
I am calling you crazy.
You're crazy.
Look, I don't know.
I mean, this team broke the record for most home runs in a season last year.
All right, so I'm
they won 100 games.
wasting a bunch of time here.
Listen, they were terrible against the Yankees. They shot themselves in the foot. They looked like a deer in headlights in that division series where they got swept. But you can't deny the fact that in the regular season, they were the top offense in the league and they won 100 games.
No, I'm with you there. I just think they're due for a little bit of regression. And in a 60
they are
season,
they are one of those every other year teams. I mean, remember in 2018, they came in last, I think, or close to it. And then in 17, they were in the wild card game.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
They seem to be on that level of going every other year. They're good.
I'm going to take a leap of faith here. I'm going to go White Sox, Twins, Indians, Royals, Tigers.
That's totally fair.
It's a fair argument because I really like the White Sox.
I do too. I have them as a wild card.
I believe in them. They did a lot in the offseason. They spent some money, brought in Grandal and Encarnacion to add to their core, and Dallas Keuchel. But I like the Twins. Their lineup is way too good. Mm-hmm. You mentioned their pitching rotation is definitely an issue. But I kind of see them as the opposite of the Rays, where their lineup is so good they can kind of make up for the lack of pitching. I'm glad you mentioned Devin Smeltzer in that list, kid that I grew up playing against. Another great story, battled cancer as a 9-year-old all the way through high school. Has made it to the big leagues and had a nice little run for them. So I'm glad you mentioned him there. It's a good team. So I got Twins, White Sox. I took the under on the Indians. I don't believe in them anymore, even though they have Lindor, Jose Ramirez, and Carlos Santana. And then Royals and Tigers. Tigers stink. They're not going to do anything. Royals are rebuilding. They brought up one of my favorite college baseball players in Brady Singer to be in their rotation, guy from University of Florida. Big arm. He's got a heavy sinker, but throws upper 90s. He's a good pitcher. So it'll be fun to watch him develop. There's still a team that's, developing, even though they won the World Series 5 years ago. But at this point, rebuild. So Twins, White Sox, Indians, Royals, Tigers.
Scott, I have the same exact standings as you. I have Twins, White Sox, Indians, Royals, Tigers. We already talked about the Twins and Indians a lot. The White Sox are very good. I think they're a very good team. I think they're the up-and-coming team in the American League.
White
They got
Sox is my
Moncada,
other
they got
wild
Lucas
card.
Roberts. They have Lucas Giolito, who is a Cy Young caliber guy. I think a little tweaks in the bullpen, and I think they could really challenge for the division. But I do think the Twins slug themselves to the division championship, mostly because they have to play the Royals, the Tigers, and the Pirates 30 times. Or not 30, I'm sorry. They play them a good chunk of their season. Those teams are just terrible. So I got the Twins, White Sox, Indians, Royals, and Tigers. Royals and Tigers are terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you got, Scott? I mean, Cash.
Yeah, I'll just go quickly through because we talked about everything, but I'm gonna go White Sox, Twins with the wild card win, Indians, Royals, Tigers.
All right. And then
All right.
when we move across to the National League side, Ty, if you want to start us off with the NL Central.
Alrighty, I'm gonna go a little bit rapid fire here. I like the Reds a lot. I'm gonna go Reds at number 1. I like the Cubs at number 2. I just think they're solid. Cardinals at number 3, Brewers at number 4, Pirates at number 5.
Brewers at 4.
Brewers at 4. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. They're good, but like
Another team that doesn't have a lot of pitching.
I just think there's 3 teams better than them.
That's
the
fair.
Cubs, I think, are better than them. I think the Cardinals have a better lineup than the Brewers do. The Brewers have their solid guys. Obviously, they made a run last year, but I don't know. I think that's a team where, I mean, Yelich is going to perform. Hader's going to perform.
Hater
I just don't know how much more you have out of that. That's super reliable. Mike Moustakas is there. He's getting a little bit older.
Moustakas is in Cincinnati. now.
I mean, furthers my point then. I didn't know that, but there you go. I mean, look, it's just another guy that Cincinnati has. He's not going to, like, be a superstar, but when you're adding a guy like Moustakas to an up-and-coming team like the Reds, they're going to be good. I'm just big on their rotation. I think Sonny Gray's taken to that well. Trevor Bauer is adapting to his new team pretty well, and they have a bunch of young guys with pop, and I like that.
The NL Central is where I have my big hot take. I have the Reds winning the division. I think the Reds are really good. I think their
Wow,
rotation's
such a
very
hot
good.
take. It's almost like somebody said that already.
You know what? Maybe I just don't want to pay attention to you, I guess. Reds are going to win the division. I have the Brewers as my wild card. The Cubs, I feel like that window is closing. I think it's like an inch open still, but I feel like the Cubs are running out of time. We don't know what Chris Bryant's future is going to be. I think their pitching staff is getting older. I still like Lester, but another year older. I mean, he's a vet. So I think the Reds are up and coming. Cardinals, I have at 4. I have them at 500. I think the Cardinals don't hit. I said this during the over-under show we had a few weeks ago. I think their NLCS run, a little bit of a fluke. So I have them at 30-30. And then obviously the Pirates are in last place. I don't know what the Pirates are doing. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know if they have a plan. I don't think they even care to have a plan. I don't know what their deal is. But Reds, Brewers, Cubs, Cardinals, Pirates.
Cash, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to run through it quickly, too. I'm going to go Reds, Cardinals, Cubs, Brewers, Pirates. Like you said, I don't think the Pirates know what they're doing. I don't like the Brewers at all. I think they're horrible. Not actually. I made a promise to myself I'd never bet on the Brewers again, and I won't. I think the Cardinals have a dangerous lineup, and they can pitch. They could always pitch. They always find a way. So I think it's a tough division, though. I'll tell you that. So, yeah, I have the
see how the Cardinals have a dangerous lineup.
I mean, they always find a way, Glenn.
Okay. I mean, they lost Ozuna. That's going to hurt. They have Goldschmidt. I don't know who else, really.
Matt Carpenter.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Who
point.
always
like,
finds a way to get on.
Yeah, all right, but
Yeah,
So
sure.
just
They
hates
lost
the Cardinals.
I don't.
He just hates the Cardinals because he hates the Reds.
Oh, like you hate the Mets.
I think the Mets just stink.
Okay, well, I think the Cardinals stink.
The Cardinals win the NLCS.
They kind of back their way in there.
All
But
right,
I'm
whatever.
going to make Glenn's hot take into a freezing cold take because I agree with you guys. Reds are going to win the division. Sneaky good team. They went out. They added Moustakas. They acquired Trevor Bauer last year. They acquired Sonny Gray along with Luis Castillo. That's another 1, 2, 3 that's really good. Eugenio Suarez hit, 45 home runs last year? Guy hits bombs. You add Moustakas, who's been a 30 home run guy.
Dingers.
You had Aristides Aquino, who came up last year and hit 19 homers in like 20 days. It was incredible.
That's the guy to watch. I'm telling you.
And you still have Joey Votto. Joey Votto's not MVP Joey Votto anymore, but he still gets on base. You can still rely on him to be a leader. He still plays a good first base. They're a good team. They're going to win that division. I have the Cubs coming in second place. Glenn, you said their window is closing. I would agree with you, especially with Bryant's future up in the air. But they're still really good. There's a lot of talent on that team. So they're in second place. They're my other wild card team. I agree with you. I think the Brewers and Cardinals are kind of interchangeable. Brewers have a good lineup, not a ton of pitching. I think the Cardinals have good pitching, but not a ton of offense. I'll take the Cardinals third, Brewers fourth, and Pirates fifth. Pirates, we've said it, not a ton of direction. They just brought in a new front office. Now's the time that they need to, make a decision who's going to stay around on that roster. They made the first move in getting rid of Starling Marte. The only noticeable name in that lineup at this point is Josh Bell, who had a good year. He'll probably be there for the long run. So Reds, Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, Pirates.
Okay, before we move on, I just want to specify I don't think I did. I have the Brewers as the wild card. So that my two wild cards in the National League are Braves and Brewers. Okay. We're going to stay in the NL because I feel like this is going to be really quick. NL West, who doesn't have the Dodgers winning?
Bueller.
No one.
Bueller.
Exactly, right? That's what we did there. Does anyone have anyone be coming close to the Dodgers?
Absolutely
Not necessarily, no.
I don't either. I have the Dodgers winning by 7 games in the division. I think the Padres are getting better. This division's the Dodgers.
They're another team that everyone's every year, they're going to have a good year. They're going to have a good year, and they never do. Show me results,
Agreed.
and I'll believe it.
Agreed. They're my fourth place team. So
I would go 500.
I
I'm not having them contending. I have them at 500. I don't think that's so terrible.
would
No,
go
I'm not saying
Dodgers.
you, I just mean in general.
I think you meant me.
No,
I would say
that time I really
Dodgers,
did.
D-backs. D-backs are the second best team in this division.
I have that too. Yeah.
Good hitters. Added Bumgarner. They have some younger arms. So Dodgers, D-backs, Rockies. They're gonna hit because it's Coors Field, but they have no pitching because it's Coors Field. And then Padres. They got Machado. They have Tatis. Outside of that, who's really there at this point? And then Chris Paddock was a great starter for them last year. And then Kirby Yates is a great closer. I don't think they have enough yet to really compete. And then the Giants in fifth. I don't even know what the Giants
I think the
are.
only drama of the NL West this year is what's going to happen with Arenado. I don't think he'll be traded in the middle of a pandemic in this kind of year, but
Probably his
never
last year in Colorado.
it'll be his last. If not in August, in December he'll get traded.
Wait, serious
And then-
question before we move on.
Yep.
Is the trade deadline in 9 days?
August 31st.
No.
Okay. Alrighty. That's it. Making
That'd be
sure.
a crazy trade deadline.
It
Right
would
when
be
the
pretty
season
crazy.
starts. Who would be a
First
buyer
week
and
of
who's
the
a
season.
seller through 9 games? AL West. I'll start because I don't know. I want to. I have the Astros winning the division. I hate to say that because they suck and they're an embarrassment and pathetic to the game of baseball, but they have good players. And Justin Verlander's still there, and Zach Greinke's still there, and Bregman and Correa and Springer and all those guys are still there, and they're still very talented, even though they did cheat.
Altuve's still there. You just can't see him. A little too
Fuck
short.
him. I can't say. Yeah, you're right. I can't say. Astros. I got the A's in second. Kind of the same thing as last year. Rangers, Angels, Mariners. Mariners suck. Angels bother me because they're wasting Mike Trout. I have them under 500 again. There's no reason why they can't in a California, Los Angeles market like the Dodgers. There's no reason, kind of like the Mets. There's no reason why they can't spend money on pitching. I know they're in on Cole. I know they're in on Strasburg. But you got to finish the deal eventually. And you're going to waste Mike Trout's career if you can't get a pitcher. They have no pitching. Dylan Bundy is their most notable starting
Ohtani.
pitcher, and he sucks.
They have Ohtani.
I don't even know
they
what
have
Ohtani
Andrew
is.
Haney,
I know
they have
Kash is
Julio
not a big
Teheran.
Ohtani guy.
Ohtani sucks.
Ohtani is like a unicorn. Like you don't know what he is. You don't know
He
if he can
sucks.
play.
He
He's
is
a
good.
good baseball player.
I don't want to hear
He's
it. I don't want to
good.
hear it. I don't want to
So
hear anything about
Ohtani
Ohtani.
is incredible.
Cash says this all the time. Unless you can prove to me that you're good here, I don't want to hear it. It was a fluke.
Oh, we
It
agreed.
was a fluke rookie of the year that should have went to Andrew Har. I will not get over it.
It's not a fluke if you come in second in rookie of the year voting. It's just
he won the rookie. No.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying should that result be reversed? Coming in second doesn't mean he's just invalidated.
No, I know he's
He
not
came in
invalidated.
second to a guy who deserved it.
Come on.
He sucks.
It was a fluke. I don't like
You're out of your
until
mind.
Ohtani does it. I don't want to hear it. Plus, he's not a
He's a
full-time starting
286
pitcher.
hitter in his time here through 710 at-bats.
Can I speak?
With 40 home runs.
Can I speak?
No, because you're wrong.
My point about Ohtani is that he's not a
sucks.
full-time. He pitches like what is it? Like he pitches
Fine.
and then he has a day off in between starts before and after. So he's not a full-time player. So what is he? He's not going
He's
to
a
put the
damn
Angels
good
over the
baseball
top.
player.
Good baseball player.
I don't agree.
sucks.
He's got a 6.5 career WAR.
I don't care.
He sucks.
He's a 286 career hitter with
I don't
40
like
home runs in 2
I don't like
years.
him. And we don't know what he
He's
is now
better
'cause he
than
got
he's
hurt.
better than Brett Gardner. I'll tell you that.
Oh. I'm a big Brett
You're out of
Gardner
your
guy. How dare
mind.
you?
Shut up, you fraud. All right,
Anyway.
I'm going next.
Astros,
ahead.
A's, Rangers, Angels, Mariners. Go ahead, Cash.
I'm going to have the Athletics coming in first.
Okay.
I have the Rangers coming in second.
Okay. Well.
I have the Astros coming in third.
Ooh. Why do you have the Rangers over the Astros?
Because it's
I
a
don't
hot
like the
take
Astros.
division for Cash.
I
He's
don't-
waiting
I don't-
he's saving it for last.
I don't like the Astros. I think they're a bunch of fucking pansies. And prove to me you could win without cheating, and then we could talk. What did I say? I said Athletics, Rangers, Astros, Mariners, Angels.
Angels in last. Wow.
Get
You
out of
think
your
the Mariners
mind.
are better than the Angels?
You are so crazy.
You're delusional.
That's the
I'm
worst
entitled to my
prediction I've ever
opinion.
seen.
I'm entitled to my opinion.
That is terrible.
A few years
terrible
ago, I told
terrible
Glenn
opinion.
that I had the Diamondbacks coming in second place because I liked their uniforms. And who came in second? Suck
Great.
on that.
Great.
All right, I'll go.
I'm entitled to my opinion.
Can somebody give me a serious prediction, please?
Yeah.
I just
I'm
gave
gonna
you a
go-
serious prediction.
No, you did not.
No, you didn't. Seriously, stupid.
Okay, let's see who wins
Astros.
the end of the year.
I'm gonna go Angels in second place because I think their rotation can hold up. I don't think it's
They
good.
cannot. They
I don't
can't
think
hold
it's great, but I think it's good enough.
up. I think it's terrible. But go ahead.
I think adding Anthony Rendon to that lineup is huge. Now you have Andrelton Simmons, you have Mike Trout, you have Anthony Rendon, you have Shohei Ohtani, you have Justin Upton, you have Albert Pujols. Those are 6 guys that can really produce.
Don't put
Then you have
Albert
a guy,
Pujols in that scissor.
Albert
He's
Pujols
Still
can
one
hit.
of the best baseball
Come
players of
on,
all
man.
time.
I don't want to hear it. I don't. Stupid. Just stupid. Do you have him as a wild card?
Yeah, I have him as a wild card. I don't
Scott,
think
can
they
you
go
please
far.
save me, please?
No, because listen, then you have a guy like Brian Goodwin. You have an up and coming guy like Joe Adele, who is supposed to be really, really good. These guys are going to be good. And then I have behind them, I have the Athletics, and I have the Rangers, and I have the Mariners because the Mariners are
Okay, so
absolutely
when-
terrible.
The Angels are in the bottom 5 of rotation ERA. I'll come back. I'll bring that back up.
I've never
want
seen any of these
every-
guys pitch in an Angels uniform before.
I want everyone to.
Never saw Mookie Betts play.
Hey!
Hey,
rotation.
I want everyone to prepare an apology for me at the end of the season for calling my predictions stupid.
You're
when I
wrong.
the
get it
Rangers
spot
might
on.
come in last.
You're wrong.
The Mariners have a better shot of coming in second place than the Rangers do. Okay, that's a stupid thing to say. But I
That's
think
pretty bad too.
the Rangers can come in last. I think the Mariners can do better than the Rangers. I'll tell you that.
Where do the
the bottom of
Rangers
the
have the
division.
talent to be better than the Astros?
Prove to me you can win without cheating, then we can talk.
Come on.
So I can argue that because they did win Game 7 of that World Series on the road.
But anyone can win any. You know what? I don't want to. Scott, what do you have with the West?
I have the Astros coming in first place.
So
They're
annoying.
still good. They can hit.
Thank you.
Altuve is a 300 career hitter.
Maybe
Bregman's
while he
still really
cheats.
good. Springer hits more leadoff home runs than anybody. They have Verlander and Greinke, 2 of the best starting pitchers of the last 20 years. They're good.
Yordan Alvarez.
Yes, they're good. I have the Athletics in second place. I don't love the A's. They're another team that's up and down every couple of years. But they got young, promising players in Matt Olson and Matt Chapman. I don't love their pitching, but they kind of put it together every year. Liam Hendricks is a good closer. Angels in third. I agree with you guys. They're wasting Mike Trout. It's a shame. But Ohtani's really good. And Ty mentioned it. They have guys that can hit. They're outside of Ohtani, there's not a ton of pitching there. I want them to be good, but they're not going to be. The Rangers are in fourth place. They just have more established players at this point than the Mariners do. I was looking at the Mariners roster the other day. They are young. I think they have like 2 guys over the age of 30. Everybody else is like 24, 25, 26 years old. They're a young team, and they're not there yet. So
Not there. They haven't been there since '01. So when are they going to get
Exactly.
there?
Can I make a
I
hot
don't know.
take?
Go
The
ahead.
Angels are going to beat Justin Verlander this year. And we're going to replay this clip.
In a single
when
in
it
one
happens.
game. In a single
Yeah,
regular season
They'll
game.
beat them. Well, you're saying their lineup is awful.
I didn't say their lineup is awful. I said their rotation is awful.
They're going to beat Justin Verlander.
Okay.
Which
I could
also
beat
means
Justin
that we'll-
Verlander if he doesn't cheat too.
Baltimore can beat Justin Verlander.
Justin
for
Verlander
one
doesn't
game.
cheat. He's pitching.
You were just
Uh,
so salty.
I am salty. I have every
Chat-
right to be salty. There was no
Chapman hung a
punishment.
slider.
Yeah, and Altuve knew it was coming.
He had the
It
wire.
doesn't matter. If you hang a slider, you hang a slider.
Prove to me you can win without cheating, and then you get credit.
They're going to win the division.
All right, let's move on to awards because I feel like we're going to start a fight if we keep talking about the AL West. So, AL
It's been a
MVP.
long show.
We need to do it quick. AL MVP, I got Glaber because that's just my homie pick.
Trout.
Shocker, right? Who do you got? AL MVP. Who do you guys have?
Trout.
Trout?
Trout.
Ty?
Until somebody beats Trout, it's Trout.
Aaron Judge.
Okay. See, we got Glaber, Judge, and 2 Trouts. That's what we have. Cy Young. Who has Cole for the Cy Young in the American League? Raise your hand. So we got Kash and Tyler. Scott, you don't? I don't have him either because I knew
I don't
these
know.
2 were going to pick him, so I wanted to be different. I have Tyler Glass now in Tampa. I love him. I think he's fantastic.
That's a psycho pick, but I
Are you-
don't
are
hate
you
it. I don't
crazy?
hate it.
Crazy.
I don't hate it. It's a crazy pick for the Cy Young, but I really like him as a pitcher. But there's no shot he outpitches the best in the league.
I just want to be
especially
different.
if he
If
gets
you
hurt.
put a gun to my head and said who's going to win the Cy Young in the American League, I would say Cole.
Garrett Cole.
But I wanted to be different because I knew Cash and Tyler would pick Cole. And we're
All right,
kind of
fine.
close.
I'll take
As
Cole.
everyone
I-
agrees.
I'm okay with that.
I'm going
Who
to
do you
take
got,
Cole
Scott?
as well. I think Cole was robbed last year. I think he
he
had a
was
better
too,
year. I think he had a better
doubt.
year than Verlander. He's going to want to prove his contract, and I think he's going to have another excellent year for the Yankees. So I'll take Garrett Cole. It's not sexy, but it's probably the right pick.
Yep.
All right, Rookie of the Year in the American League, I have Luis Robert in Chicago. Have you guys
Good
talked about the
pick.
Rookie of the Year?
He-
He hits.
he's
I mean, if
been-
you see his videos
I
over the
think
White
it's,
Sox spring training games, he hits.
it's
Jason
Luis
Dominguez.
Robert or Joe Adele. I think Joe Adele's another guy that could come up for the Angels and be phenomenal.
Any Clark Schmidt love, Tyler?
I just don't think he'll be up long enough.
Who do you got, Cash?
Jason Dominguez.
Jason? What the fuck are you talking about?
You're out of your mind. Let's move to the
You
NL.
guys did not respond to my text today about that.
NL MVP,
Ronald
scared, Scott.
Acuna Jr.
I have Cody Bellinger. There's no
And
wrong
yeah.
answer.
Repeat for Cody.
Yep. Who do you got?
You know what? I'll take Acuna.
Nice.
All right.
He was close to 40-40 last year. He's obviously not going to get to that this year, but the guy's
never
talent
know.
is there.
Watch him hit 40
I'll-
home runs.
I'll make my homer pick as well, Bryce Harper. So,
That's
but
fine.
my official pick will be Acuna.
Tyler, what is your MVP?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts. So we got 2 Dodgers and 2 Acunas.
I thought
that,
Mookie's a fair argument as well.
I don't think Mookie's a bad player.
You're out of your mind.
You just don't
What?
think he's worth the contract.
I don't
think
want to
anyone's
hear you
worth the
speak about
contract.
Mookie Betts after what you just put us through in the beginning of the show. That's why
I
this
didn't put you
episode is
through it.
10 times longer than it should be right now. Is because we
NL
wasted
Cy
time
Young.
trying to tell you that his contract is warranted.
All right, relax, everyone. NL Cy Young. This is going to put to bed any argument that I don't like the Cardinals or I have anything against the Cardinals. I have Jack Flaherty as my NL
You
Cy
hate
Young.
the Cardinals.
You're jumping into the bandwagon on Jack Flaherty.
I
I
am.
saw
I
some.
think
I saw some of that as well. He came in 4th last year, so it's not far fetched for him to make that jump. So
So who do you got?
my argument will be the same as my Trout argument. It's Jacob
until it's
DeGrom.
not?
Yeah, the guy. As much as I've hated it the last 2 years, the guy's incredible. So until somebody dethrones him, I'll take DeGrom.
Tyler, can you edit in a hot take noise for me? Right
I
here.
try my best.
No.
Well, now I don't,
Clayton
have to
Kershaw.
I don't have to edit one.
Clayton Kershaw.
All right, I'm going to piggyback you and pick the better Dodger. Walker Buehler's the NL Cy Young for me.
All right, moving on. Lastly, Rookie of the Year in the National League. He's not starting the season in the big leagues, but I think Gavin Lux will come up eventually, and I think he'll take it. I don't really have a lot of context to that or a reason why.
I'll say Lux too.
Yeah, he was the front runner coming into the year. From what I read, apparently he looked pretty bad. He looked pretty shaky defensively and as well as offensively. I'm going full homer on this one. I'm taking Spencer Howard. I've only heard all the crazy hype about him the last couple of years. Everyone in Philadelphia threw a fit when we didn't call him up last year. He got sent down for the first couple of games, but it's fully expected that he'll be up after those first 6 games to take that 5th spot or be a 6th starter for the Phillies. So Spencer Howard.
And we round this out with Ty.
I'm going to go with Gavin Lux just because I think he'll be up. He'll be able to do enough, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
I just don't think there's anybody else really worthy of that pick at this point because I think it just whichever guy stands out, and I can't even put my finger on that now. So the answer is Gavin Lux for now.
All right. Finally, we've come down to this, what we're all been waiting for, the playoffs. So American League representative in the World Series, National League representative in the World Series, and your winner. Who wants to go first?
Yankees, Dodgers.
I have Yankees, Dodgers too.
Cash, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Three. Yankees.
There you go.
So we got
God,
3
you
Yankees,
guys-
Dodgers. What do you got,
You
Scott?
guys are so cute.
And we're wearing the same shirt.
I mean,
Not really, but
I think Yankees Dodgers is the
That's
easy
what the
pick.
people want to see.
We've
it's
been
the
wanting
two
to see
best
it for a
teams.
long time. I definitely think the Dodgers will be there. Do I just jump on board with you guys? I'll jump on board with you guys, but I'm going to pick the Dodgers to win.
All right. So we got
Mookie's gonna
Yankees,
put 'em over.
Dodgers across the board. I have Yankees in 7.
Yeah, I think Mookie just puts the Dodgers over the edge. He's another
Scott
MVP
has the
to add to
Dodgers,
that team.
And I
so.
assume Tyler and Cash have the Yankees winning.
We both
Yes.
said
we
that
just
already.
did it.
All right, great.
Yeah.
That's it.
Together.
We did it. We got through
That
it.
is
The
our
longest
episode.
podcast we've ever done. So thank you for sticking with us. It was fun. We went through everything. There's not one thing.
Yeah, I
That
did
is
a
There's
nap.
just so
talk
much.
about.
And baseball is here.
It's back.
It is here.
One more day tomorrow. It's going to be great. And we're going to
is
have
here.
it. We're going to have podcasts every week throughout the regular season and right through October. It's going to be a great time. So we're going to take
Go
this.
Miners.
Hopefully the entire season gets to be played. We don't have any more interruptions with Corona, and it's a great baseball season. And who knows, if we all do our part, maybe by the end of the year, we can go to a few games. So hopefully that all works out. That'll just about do it for us at BASEHITBALL4. Enjoy opening day and enjoy the Major League Baseball season. I'm Glendon Negris alongside Cashman, Roswell, and Blumenstick, and we'll see you next week.